I was saying something yesterday, and it was kind of, I didn't like how the story came out that there was a meeting regarding the euro about the Greek bailout, and it was going on for all these hours. They still didn't get a resolve on it, yet the markets took it favorably. And I just didn't buy that because it just didn't make sense. And I says, I think there's going to be a hiccup with this. Although I think the euro is going to be, rescued for the elections and all this type of stuff. But I figured there was going to be a hiccup with this. I didn't think there was going to be one today. I thought it was going to be like Monday. So I was hoping to sell off some stuff today and buy it back Monday. And I shouldn't laugh about that, but that sucks because I should have sold off yesterday. And I almost did sell off a portion of PSLV, and but I wouldn't have bought it back today because my guess is it's going to drop a little bit more. And it's not necessarily a guess. I mean, this is really where the technical stuff comes in, and I don't really get into the technical too much because there's a lot of different types of technical out there that really conflict with each other. You get different results depending on what time frames you use. And quite obviously, well, if you knew the geopolitical events ahead of time, you would rake in the markets left and right. So I try to concentrate on that, but I don't have a crystal ball. But I got a kind of a weird way of thinking, so sometimes that's what works for me. I usually have a little bit of a problem when I listen to other people that are into the normal mind stream way of thinking. But today, silver tanked, oil tanked and everything. And I got out of my oil position. Where's that oil chart? This is the oil chart, and this is a little bit, this is a 2-hour chart, goes back to, almost the beginning of the year. But I got in at around 96.5, got rid of it around, I think it was like 99.80 or something, just about 100. It was right around here. So I got it in this range someplace, and I got it over here. And that was okay. So took some money. And I'm not interested in shorting the market right now or doing whatever. I don't really know what's going to happen. And I'm still sticking in mainly with that stupid PSLV because I'm really not liking that fund anymore because I'm going to set up a spreadsheet when they had that premium, whatever the premium was, when all those people jumped in there in that high volume first thing in the morning after it went down 10% and all these people bought it back or bought it or whatever. And I bought some there too. But I didn't sell it because I didn't know what he was doing, obviously, He went and bought more silver, so that killed the premium on his fund. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to watch this premium. I'm going to set up his chart, spot prices silver versus Sprott, and from that point when he did that and what it was before then. And that's going to be another factor in what I want to sell. But I think I want to play the leverage a little bit more on the silver. And I don't want to use that word play because I'm in it to win. I'm in it to win. I'm not in it to play. It's not a game. It's money. And you need it. That's what I look at it. And there's no limit on how much you should get. The euro tanked today. Now, that was on the news about, they're not so sure about what's going to happen with the Greek default, or the Greek debt situation, everything. And you can just look at all the headlines. Here it is. So just where is that Greek deal? Stock slide on new Greek worries. Greek uncertainty slams Wall Street. There's a lot of them out there, right? Oil reverses 8-day rally. So all the commodities got hit, including silver, which is a commodity as far as, the markets are concerned. And I got to point that out again and again and again because these physical silver people, they are not looking at it as a commodity. They're like looking for, like, there's going to be this big crash of everything, and then if you have silver, the world is going to be fine. And I'm like, yeah, really? I think if you got food, the world's going to be fine. That's going to be one thing. But that's not how I look at things. I look at things that I got to go with reality, and I think there's some truth to the fact that, well, there's some truth to the statement that silver is a very good backstop. That's like your citadel. It could be when everything goes down, having silver is going to save you all the way. That could be there is some truth to that, but it's not going to be all the be all end all of everything. That's without a doubt. And just looking at these prices, if the euro drops further, silver, I don't know, what could it go down at? Below 32, around 32. Now, if it went down this low, I don't know if that's the low, because I'm too bullish on silver. I'd be going in there on some triple leverage silver fund. But that probably wouldn't be a bad bet, but I'd also have to weigh it in with what I think is going to happen geopolitically. But I think they're going to straighten out this thing with the euro. That's what I think. And this could be a good opportunity to buy. And I'm not buying any more coins. I'm getting sick of buying those damn things. I'm going into more leveraged funds. And possibly I'm going to wait on the oil. I'm not going to short the oil, but it may go down quite a bit more. And I'm only going to look for steals. Because the one thing I kind of picked up on is, well, even years ago, it's like you get a story out there, I'm just making one up. It's a stupid story, but the king of Saudi was running to the bathroom at midnight and he stubbed his toe. So the oil went down $10. Stuff like that. And it's like there's so many dumb stories out there that move the markets. And obviously there's something else going on behind the scenes. So I'm a little bit conspiratorial too. But I think there's a way to read what they're doing. So that's my game. And I don't get into all these crazy conspiracies about the aliens living in the middle of the earth and all this kind of crap. And I noticed, like, on YouTube, anytime I mention anything like that that's in the headline, there's a more attraction to that stuff. And I guess that's just the way the average person thinks. But that's probably why this country's in so much trouble, because the major media is partly right about some of these conspiracy theories. I mean, it's not like it's not true, and it's not like it's true either. They got some wacky things out there. And I do want to go back to one thing that Lindsey Williams said, because let me put it this way. When he said this, I knew it to be a fact. And he calls them the elite. But there's like a policy of disinformation out there, fear tactics. The sky's going to fall. What are they up to now? What are they doing now? It's like a whole big soap opera drama. And, that's why people eat into this Alex Jones stuff, And I actually subscribe to Alex Jones, but I don't like listening to him much at all, because he's out there, man. He's really out there, and he's trying to get people pissed off. That's what I think, and that's probably not the way to be. You just got to deal with the problem and then deal with it, and that's it. You're done. You're not gonna, try to like destroy everything, and that's almost like what he's almost doing, I think, a lot of times. And it gets people really psyched up and really mad. So I don't buy into that. I don't buy into that at all. So I think there's a lot. I mean, there's some truth to what the major media says too. But the conspiracies are accurate. I mean, it's always been the case. Wars and all this type of stuff is all over money, and it's all over economics. So I think, it's a pretty sure bet at one point in time we're going to attack Iran, and it's not over being, everybody's not convinced of what the reason is, obviously. But I'm not looking at it from that angle. I'm just looking at it from the angle where I figure crude oil is going to go up. I'd like to know when that attack is, and I'd like to be positioned in oil the day before that happens. And you're going to see your money go up quite a bit. And as far as this stuff, I'm thinking that it's going to pull back a little bit more. And I'm not going to do anything today on this. I don't know. I mean, could start floating back up or whatever, but I'm going to wait just a little bit on this because there might be some more bad news coming out about the Greek situation. And if I think there's a low, I'll probably move some into triple leverage silver. But if I was able to anticipate this move that happened today, I would have dumped my entire position on PSOV yesterday and bought back the whole thing today, even if it was 1.5%. I mean, that's a big difference. That's a big difference. So, just I don't quite ever understand the exact moves on everything either, because obviously if I did, I'd be the richest person on the earth by far. But I do think this is probably going to pull back a little more, and it's quite obvious that people who listen to what the few people that are on this channel aren't necessarily in the camp where most people are. The listeners of Alex Jones and Max Kaiser and all these people, because they might listen to them. You might listen to them, but I've noticed that a lot of people, if I say one word against, or not against, or just in criticism of, or point out something that's obvious on some of these characters that are spouting all this information, they get very much like, trying to attack somebody coming out with the truth. And I'm like, no, they're saying the truth, but they're out for number one. All of them. All of them. Every single one of them. But if I want to give you some short-term advice, I think, even technically, all this type of stuff, it's really hard to say what the hell's going to happen technically, because if somebody says something Monday about the Greek situation is resolved, you're going to see all these numbers fly up. But I don't think it is going to be that quick. And I think it's going to be, but I don't think it's going to be that quick. So this stuff might drop some more. So if you're looking to get in there, and I'm not talking about buying coins unless you got unless you don't have any. I'd be looking at silver around 32 and oil around 94, 95. And I don't know if that's low enough, but that's a good place to start buying some. And that's what I'm going to do if it goes that far down. So I'm giving you a straight up recommendation on something, and it's a recommendation that I'm going to do myself. So for what it's worth. Silver around 32 and oil around 94, 95 if you want to watch on that. And oil could hit about 95. That should be a pretty good deal. Now it might drop further, but I think if you hold on, you're going to find within a matter of a couple months it's going to be testing right off this chart. It's going to be testing 105, and that could be a very good gain. So, I get nervous about missing the bottom too. So sometimes I get it in a little. I don't get it. I don't catch the bottom. I don't. But usually I'm not too bad at this stuff, and a lot of it is just how I think. So I'm just saying, if you get oil below 95 and silver around 32 or maybe a little lower, that might be a good entry point. And that's about where I'm going to get in if it goes that low.